What is going on, everybody, and welcome to another midweek interruption with me and my Menendez brother, Tyler. Tyler, what's going on, bro?
I mean, I'm just your brother regardless. I'm Menendez brother. I'm just your brother.
I'm your brother. And we are here and we are telling another one of our little Aesop's fables where we give you one of my biggest blunders this week. This is going to be part of a series.
A saga,
if you will, containing my
Yeah, yes. There's somehow, and I don't know how you do this, it is a masterful art of no matter what it is that we are discussing, from politics to religion to whatever the flavor of the week is.
Sure.
And
I'm glad you said flavor.
You always somehow manage to get it back to your penis.
And my taint isn't too far behind.
It's really a master class in like, you know, you had Oprah was the master interviewer. You are the master taint bringer backer.
And I appreciate that because it was and is in the middle of all of my decisions. Now, I'm trying something out a little different this week. I have found a huge stumbling block for these mini sessions, okay?
How so?
What it is my use of recreational drugs throughout my life. Even my biggest stories, I can't remember them.
Yeah.
I can't remember them. And so what I have done is I have gone back for the visual audience. I have made a little list here of how this thing kind of went. So I'm going to refer to it. Let's see if this helps me or hinders me. Now,
so little bullet points and whatnot
for
the audio audience.
Because with some of the stories that we've told at the end, I realized that I missed something and I'm like, that is important to the story.
Yeah.
And now it is not in there.
Yeah, it really detracts from the overall experience when the audience who's listening to this right now, hey guys,
what's up,
when
guys?
you have to go to the following episode, the subsequent episode, and get like the bullet points of the most important details of the story.
Yeah, the guy kissed me. That's why it's the guy I made out with in fucking Canada. Didn't mention that. Kind of a big deal.
We're still finding our legs under us, man. We're still getting our rhythm.
No, you're exactly right. Now, another point that I brought up in the pregame, Tyler, tell them what the pregame is.
The pregame is what we tack on 30 seconds after the main show, and it is our little warm-up here in the studio to get ready for, again, what you guys are currently listening to.
I thought we had an interesting one today. Not like the other ones. Usually they're terrible. So this week I mentioned in the pregame that I don't just want for these mini sessions to be a chronicling of you and I doing stupid stuff. There were actual lessons that were learned in these. And this isn't me bragging or, you know, even just making myself a subject of ridicule. I have learned a lot of things from many of these things that we're going to bring up. So what I'm going to be talking about on this one is centered around me being a cheater. Now, the reason why I bring it up is, number one, it was a huge portion of my life. And number two, I am a reformed cheater. I don't mind talking about it because I'm not saying it as an ego boost. I'm saying it as I have grown from that. And you don't hear a lot of people out here referring to themselves as reformed cheaters. I think it's something that's interesting.
Yeah, very much so. And then one day we'll build people up, get their tolerance of us up enough, and then we'll slowly start dipping our toes into your serial killer tendencies.
No. We're not there yet.
OCD tendencies and all that kind of stuff.
Well, and you know what? My buddy who we referenced on the last show, Togoin, told me that he read an article that Miami is the worst place to go if you are in a relationship. If you are, and I'm going to try to look this up because I think it's very interesting. And his point to me was, okay, if this is the place where people should avoid because you're most likely to cheat, what is it like to grow up here? What if that is your everyday norm? I think that's really interesting.
So what you're saying is you're making an argument for cheating.
We're a vain people down
We're
here.
Here in Miami. I'm obviously going to cheat.
Very
I'm sorry,
cosmetic.
baby. It's not that I don't love you. It's that I don't love myself.
And you're lucky I've only done it 10 times. I could have done it 20.
That's very true.
You're half
very
welcome.
True. And you are eventually going to get HPV. I just gave it to you sooner than you
That's
normally
exactly
got.
right.
You're welcome.
Terrible.
It really is.
All right, so here we go. Let's embark on the Lotion Chronicle Volume 1, because unfortunately, there's more than one volume of Lotion Chronicles.
And you heard that correctly, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right.
Lotion Chronicle.
That's exactly right. So here's how the story starts. The story starts with, like almost every cheater, me getting busted. You're always going to get busted because you're living in this perpetual world of is today the day that I accidentally let out a hint? Is today the day that my phone goes off at the wrong time? Yeah, listen, man, you got your phone upside down. The person you're with knows what's going on. The fact that your phone hasn't rang in 6 months, kind of a sign. A bit of a sign.
God, I'm with a loser.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to reach out to him. It's sad.
What's going on with your social circle? Why don't you go out and see women secretly? So I've been caught. I have moved out of the place where I'm staying with a very nice woman who did not deserve any of it other than having some sort of issues on her own that brought her to a person like me.
Absolutely. I don't think, because you use the word specifically, deserved it. I don't think there's anybody out there that deserves to be cheated on.
Well, I can think of one person specifically, but I won't say her name.
I don't know if you're being serious or not.
Mom. So I have gotten caught. Sorry. I didn't know who to pick there. So I got caught and I had to leave. Now, in these kind of circumstances, what is the only go-to, Tyler? Like, what do you need? Okay, you're packing up all your shit. Your world is falling down around you. What do you do? What do you do?
Well, I would want to say that you go and you spend time with family, with loved ones, with you center yourself.
You get hammered, Tyler.
Yeah.
You gotta
get
drink.
hammered,
You gotta drink the problems away because
Yeah.
there is no problem out there that drinking can't solve. And
Or cause.
a whole bunch of problems that it's gonna cause, which gives you something to do the next day. You gotta keep your mind off of it, Tyler. So
Is this a be like me?
I am now very drunk, okay? And I do what all people in these circumstances that are lucky enough to have this option. I go to my mommy's house, man.
Absolutely.
I go to my mom.
Absolutely.
She's the only one who will have the poor huddled mass that is Ryan Menendez at this point.
Well, it's the one person who will take you in and not judge you for the things that you've done. For the you are the reason why you're in that situation, and she will not hammer you because of it.
You always care for your kids and you always back them up even when they're wrong. So here's the thing about my mom and her current husband, okay? They, luckily enough, get to travel, which is great. At the end of their, well, how do I say end of their lives, Tyler? What's the appropriate way to say somebody's old and they're going to die soon?
Pre-death.
They're pre-death.
Yes.
Okay, they're in the final act of their regular living lives, okay? So now they're getting to travel a lot, which is beautiful. She deserves it. What she didn't deserve was that little thing that we just did.
Yeah.
And they're out of town at this time. So I call them up. I tell them my sob story, say I need a place to stay, and they couldn't be happier to share their abode with me. So I get over there, okay? And it's a nice size house, and I did what I always do when I get there and I'm alone. I immediately turn on the alarm because I am afraid of the dark. I have always been afraid of the dark. I'm not afraid of ghosts. I'm not afraid of goblins. I'm not afraid of Frankenstein. I'm afraid of people.
Well, I will say specifically about that house, it was built, I think, before drywall was invented.
Sure.
So when a breeze comes along, it just
The whole upstairs is just straight up wood.
It's crazy.
And there's all sorts of little noises going on. And I'm pretty sure there's a guy living in the attic.
Yeah. Obviously, the sounds are a problem, and you got to worry about the murderer in the house.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it could be me. So I put the alarm on immediately. Okay. So now I am drunk. I am safe.
I was going to say, you're secure.
I'm secure.
Mhm.
I'm secure.
Mhm.
And I am now in this big giant house feeling really sorry for myself because when you're cheating and you're in the middle of reaping the benefits of what, having somebody attracted to you like that gets you, you are feeling all the confidence in the world.
It's a high.
It is a high. It is just like drugs. It is what I've been most addicted to in my life is the comfort of somebody else telling me that I am okay, which I believe is at the core of all cheating. When one person isn't enough to make you feel good about yourself, once you have that person, you keep going on down the line, hoping that you're going to be able to fill that hole. Spoiler alert. And that wasn't a play on words. Spoiler alert, you never will.
Yeah. Even if it was a play on words, even that wouldn't work.
And Lord knows I never could. I just kind of rub it around the sides.
Bottomless.
So just to finish that thought, when you get caught, it is the opposite of how you feel when you're doing the cheating. All of a sudden, all of your insecurities have come crashing through the dam I will never be with someone else. I am a loser, and they've finally figured it out. This is the end of it for me.
Absolutely. This is it. I will never find another person ever.
That's it.
Yeah.
Why would anybody want to be with me?
Yep.
And it's those insecurities that drive people to cheat, in my personal estimation. So I'm feeling these feelings. I'm secure. I'm drunk. What is the next reasonable thing for someone to do in this scenario, Tyler?
I want to say yoga or meditation, but you got to wank it right.
You jerk, Tyler.
You got to wank it.
You need an old-fashioned spit on your hand, hurt it a little bit jerk. You know what I mean? That's right, Tyler. Give me
Mr.
the old,
Miyagi,
the old Mr. Wax on, whack off. Okay? So I need a good old-fashioned jerk. All right.
Who doesn't every now and
I
then?
need to manhandle the ham candle, Tyler. So here's what the one part of this story that I think is weird that people won't understand. In this house, when you put the alarm on, if you open up a window to get to the outside, the alarm goes off. If you open up a door to get to the outside, an alarm goes off. That's how most people's alarms work.
Yeah.
In this house specifically, it is wired. So if you open up the doors to the master bedroom, the alarm will go off.
Pretty stupid.
In my stupor, I did not recall that. And unfortunately enough for me, that is where the lotion was. And I am not one of these fucking people with foreskin that could jerk off without lotion. What's your take on that?
I've done it plenty of times before.
Under what circumstances?
Just too lazy to get up and get the lotion or something like that.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
This is real? This isn't...
I'm dead. Swear on my life.
I have probably jerked off without lotion maybe twice in my life.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I don't have enough skin. What do you do?
I use the skin that God has provided me.
The doctors took that without my okay when I was very young. What's your take on circumcision very quickly? What is it? I
am under the spell of it being normalized because that is the society that I grew up in. However, I am more than willing to acknowledge that you are doing something pretty gruesome.
You're mutilating
to somebody who does not have a say in the process.
That's right. And a lot of people say you lose sensation in your penis because a lot of the nerves are in that skin.
Give it back.
Yeah, I actually got mine back. I just don't know what to do with it.
I still got my butt though. Plenty of nerve endings in there.
We won't circumcise that, Tyler. That one's all you. So the alarm goes off. Because I have now breached those doors, I've gone into my parents' room, and I have retrieved the lotion. And I'm like, fuck, okay, that's a big deal. So the alarm company calls, as alarm companies are one to do. I know the code. I know all the stuff. No big deal, okay? This is maybe about 10:30 at night, all right? So I go on back about my way. I'm headed back upstairs to do what needs to get done. The phone rings again.
You're a man on a mission.
I am a man on a mission.
You have now just been distracted.
That's exactly right.
Yep.
But it wasn't that big of a deal. So the phone rings again. Now, this time, it is my mother, okay?
Which is obviously the voice you want to hear right before stroking your penis.
That's what gets me going. You know what I mean? That's it. If only she was stepmommy, I mean, it would be...
Hey, stepmom, get over here and get caught in this dryer.
The internet's fantasies living out through me, the conduit. So she calls me up and she says, hey buddy, what's going on? And I could tell she's been drinking a little bit. I hear all her friends in the background. Okay. And so she's like, hey, what's going on over there? And I'm like, oh, without even thinking. Now, this is a point in my life where lying to me is nothing. Like, I don't think twice about lying. If it will make my life even the slightest bit more convenient, I'll say whatever the fuck I want.
Which doesn't even make any sense because it just makes your life infinitely more inconvenient, even if it does make it convenient at that moment.
Now, if I could give a little bit more moralizing here, which is what I like to think these mini sessions are about to some degree, all those people out there that you're just making little white lies throughout your life, I know this sounds ridiculous, but there is a physical payment that you make on every single one of those that you are carrying around that you don't know.
Yeah,
and
it sucks.
As a reformed chronic liar, my life, not that I'm without lies, because sometimes you're in societal situations or somewhere where you feel like you need to lie, and you've seen it. It rakes me across the coals, man. I do everything that I can not to lie.
Yeah, sometimes you're a bit of a dick about it.
Yep, I certainly am. So she says, hey, buddy, what's going on? Now, the situation that I'm in with my family, we are very open. We are an open family. We share, I would say, probably a lot more than people do in regular circumstances. But I don't know that to be true because I've only been in one family.
Yeah. Yeah,
so
absolutely.
she says, what's going on? And I just got a phone call from the alarm company and they told, the alarm went off. I just want to check and make sure everything was okay. I said, yeah, everything's good. I actually just went out back to smoke and the alarm went off.
Mm-hmm.
And so she has this quiet moment of contemplation and she says, Ryan, and she's there with her husband. I can hear him in the background too, all their friends or whatever. They are very obviously in on the story.
Absolutely.
They know that something's going on. And after you've had a couple drinks, any little bit of entertainment value, you're going to soak it up.
Absolutely.
Much like some fried food on the way home. So she says, and my mom is just the nicest person that there could possibly be in the world. So I could tell it's killing her to say this to me.
Not killing her enough to call you back later, call you the next day and find out.
Well, here's the problem.
Here's the rub.
And here's the rub, Tyler. Therein lies the rub. She says, Ryan, I don't want to call bullshit, but I know that it wasn't you going outside. They told me that it was the interior door to my room. Now, the reason why she had to bring it up right there is she's with her husband, who isn't my father, who I'm very close with, but still, I'm letting my son stay in our house and he's being dishonest with us. He's going into our room. Who knows what the fuck he's doing in there? Is he taking money? Is he, look.
Oh God, I wish it was taking money.
Please just let him be stealing my 401k. So she says,
do you think people keep their 401k in their bedroom?
Oh, well, you probably hide it under the butter dish or something because robbers are going to look initially in your room. So
I don't trust banks. I put my 401k in my mattress.
I buried it in a hole in my backyard next to ashes. So
that's our old cat.
Still is. And she has literally become, it was a self-fulfilling prophecy, really. So she says, Ryan, I got to tell you, I hate to say this, but I know that you weren't going outside.
You're lying to me.
You're lying.
Yeah.
And it's okay, but why are you lying? So this is all running through my head, and I know her husband is there and thinking like, what's fucking going on? Yeah, I don't want this guy in my house.
Especially with all the things in our history, a few things have got to be popping into his mind, like, what the fuck?
Is he robbing me? Is he, what's going on? And I know all of her friends are involved in this thing.
Of course.
A collective sigh. It goes out across the ocean and comes back. So I have to make a decision. Do I want to fess up, or in my drunken angry? I'm so angry just at everything that's happened. No, I cannot believe. I can feel the anger right now just telling the story. I cannot believe that I'm now in this situation. This is fucking bullshit, but okay. I'm just going to, I'm just going to tell the truth. I'm going to say, all right, you know what, Mom? Look, it's kind of embarrassing, but all this stuff has happened, and I just went into your room to get the lotion. Okay.
Well, that's it. And I would say you have to go acknowledgement there, because I would assume in that moment you're also, while angry, also just defeated.
I'm defeated.
You're just like,
and I really need, no. There was no defeated. I'm purely angry.
Yeah.
I'm very angry. Okay. But my mind knows enough to know I need to stay here right now.
Yeah.
If I get kicked out of here, where the F, I'm sleeping in my car, dead ass serious. So I've got to be honest, and I'm going to tell them the truth because it's embarrassing, but I really kind of have no choice. So I say, Mom, I was going into your room to get the lotion. Now, she's the mother of 3 boys. So again, we're very open in our family. So this,
unless it comes to the bathroom.
But her response was, oh, Martin, I told you it was the lotion.
Yeah.
My mom, before she even talked to me, knew that I was going into her room to get the lotion for Therapy Jerk. And that is the beginning of the Lotion Chronicles. Not only did I have to admit it to her, I had to admit it to all of her friends. They were all cackling and laughing at me. And they already knew.
Like none of them have ever gone into their parents' room to get some lotion for their dingalings or their mush.
Yeah, hey, Miss Albanese, you've never jerked off? What?
It was a real person.
I had such a crush on her.
Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't mention that right now. This is an inopportune time to bring it up. But, call me or whatever, So that is the first story of Lotion Chronicles Volume 1. So many stories of my masturbation becoming a real source of shame in my life.
Becoming a source of shame.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. I'm totally I'm totally open to it now. And that is why we had to kill our parents, Tyler.
Yeah, well, they had it coming.
CUMMING. Great job this week, Tyler. We love telling you guys these stories. Hey, this month so far in the first 9 days has been shaping up to be the best month that we've ever had. India, where you at? And Tyler, I mean, I say this every week, but damn, am I grateful.
Very much so. Please go to THOSEGUYSYOUHATE.com if you feel like supporting us some more, and click on all the buttons and subscribe on all your screens. And I will just personally say thank you. And we love you all very much, Haitian Army.
We are those guys you hate.
Be kind or we'll kill you.
I hate women. Just yuck. Ah, they smell like warm and they taste like pennies. And you know what?
I think that's blood, Ryan.
That is my impression of American society and scene. Don't you feel like there's an underlying hatred for women in our, and I'm not saying this to be woke, like Aaron Rodgers. I'm just saying there is this I did not plan on starting here. This underlying hatred towards women, I think, in a lot of times. Same as, Black people or Asian people, or there's this underlying just dislike for women I see, like on the internet. Tyler, you heard of it?
I think it might be a little different, though, in terms of racism or sexism, simply because women are something to be desired. Women are something that are sought after by men. They are something like the example I go back to, Elliot Rodger, where it's like, you're not going to give this to me. Well, I'm going to lash out at you.
And I agree, but I think that all of that, as everything on the show always does, comes back to the one point of that's what's going on inside of you. Now, what causes you to feel those things are all different, but it seems to all come out in the same way. And obviously I'm using a very broad brush here, but what I would say is go, and I haven't done this. I'm just saying this, just having no belief in my American constituency or
good way to start off the show.
Global constituency. Go read the comment section of a woman talking about sports. Oh, who told you could put shoes on? What are you doing not pregnant and in the kitchen?
Agreed.
Guys are fucking gross.
You're right. You're absolutely right. However, to present a defense to that.
Sure. Weird that you need to, but go on.
What the is she doing talking about sports?
Good point.
This is a man's realm. You don't talk about sports. Oh, I thought you.
No, there you go.
In on me. No, never mind. Women belong.
This is him.
Absolutely.
It's him.
They belong there. Man, when it's primarily my face on here, it makes me feel way worse.
I want everyone to know.
Way worse.
I want to start getting better, and this is probably not right for this platform. I want to start getting better about changing up the camera angles, and I could be in charge of that because you're doing so many other things. I want to be part of that.
Yeah, it's just being mindful of
Cognizant.
needing to switch and also not doing it too often because then it just becomes busy.
No, but I also don't want it to be a static, quote unquote, image where it's just always the two of us in that scenario.
Mm-hmm.
If we're in the regular show and you're doing a segment, I want to switch over to your face. I think it would just make for a more captivating, like when you watch a regular TV show, they don't just stay in one shot, and you don't find it to be distracting. It's just part of the show. Anywho,
unless you watch C-SPAN, single shot,
which is all that I watch, Tyler.
On McConnell's jowls.
Look at this page. He is just doing the Lord's work. To wrap up what it was that I was saying is there is just this inherent anger towards women that you see a lot, which confuses me. Because even when I was in this upcoming story that I'm about to tell, I guess this could be Ryan's biggest blunders.
Yeah, no values to be had again,
I
Ryan.
disagree. I'm going to go ahead and disagree. But what I would say is, even in all of my cheating, and there was plenty of it, it was never my distaste for women. I was never that thing of like, I hate women and I'm going to teach them a lesson. It was never that. It was that Man, I love women. I love all of them. Let's see those genitals.
That was your opening line for some reason.
It was their opening too. And there was a very long period of time where I would say over and over again, well, number one, I'm in the mood to make some poor decisions. And number two, I want to see all the vaginas.
Yeah, I understand that.
I was close too, man.
But they are, you're just going to keep going on that, huh? They are
Sorry, Nicole.
two sides.
Love you, baby.
You make me uncomfortable when you do that.
I
Apologize to me.
Nicole, tell Tyler I'm sorry.
I would say that they are two sides of the exact same coin, where it is not a matter of hating women. It is a matter of feeling that way about yourself, and that is your release of those feelings.
Sure.
You don't hate women, you hate yourself.
You're absolutely right. And I'm going to bring this up on the beginning of the actual mini sesh because I think it's important to have an underlying social commentary, not just like, oh, we're so crazy and look at these, we got all fucked up and look at all these sordid stories. I want for them to have some sort of a fable-like quality in terms of here is the point of all of this. And so my point is, when I was a cheater and I was a prolific cheater, and I say that with the appropriate amount of shame that it deserves, I always thought it's because I was the man. Look at all these women that I can get, and oh man, look at the power that I hold. Only recently have I realized that it was the opposite of that. It was my own insecurity. I was always cheating because I was afraid of losing you. If we're always worried about me, we never have to worry about you.
Well,
I didn't know that.
You attack before you're attacked.
Do unto others before they do unto you.
I know that you're going to do this to me, that voice in your head. I know you're going to do this, so I'm going to do it first.
I still have some of those thoughts in terms of just being afraid of being vulnerable. I'm glad that we got that all worked out. I'm sure by the end of this session, that will all be gone and I will be whole. Or at least I'm going to get some. Tyler, get some whole. Okay. See, your problem is you think about women as parts. I think of them as a whole. How about loud?
I only like certain parts.
You standard man.
That's it.
The elbows, the backs of knees.
No. I mean, I like them in parts.
Oh.
Yeah. I just like specific parts by themselves.
I like my women like I like my coffee. Ground up and in the freezer. And I would be remiss if I did not talk before we went on about...
I thought you were going to say I like my women like I like my coffee boiling in a pot.
Black.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm totally down with that.
Like my buddy Squish loves the black women. Loves the black women. We used to share porn DVDs. And his taste was too exotic for me. You know what I mean? It's like sharing cuisine, and the curry was too spicy.
Well, that was going to say is everybody has their own taste.
Between you and me, I got into it though.
It's awesome.
Yep. So
look, you just showed your age. My old roommate and I shared porn DVDs. And I'm old enough to remember that too. I was in on that.
I'm looking through the cloud. Where the hell is it? Yeah, we had like a porn repository.
Yeah, long before you could just sign online all willy-nilly and just look up porn whenever you want to.
Don't use my rap name in that context, Tyler.
I just feel like it's suiting.
And before that, we used to share magazines. Well, actually, at the same time, you had Club, you had Barely Legal, which I feel shame about now.
I remember that.
And finally, there was one that was really funny that I just can't. Well, I f***ed this up. And again, I would be remiss in not mentioning before we move on here that I beat the shit out of you in fantasy football this week. Oh, and my boy Patty Mahomes, he's just playing like shit, Tyler.
Yeah, he's garbage.
What's going on with Patty Mahomes? He's not garbage this year. He's 4th in points. Nobody cares about this at all.
Nope.
Not a single. Even if you like fantasy football, this is boring to hear about my team.
End of the pregame. If you've made it this far, we don't even care about what you think simply because you obviously had terrible taste.
This was a test and you failed over and over again. Let's fail some more, Tyler.